Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream, daily transfer update and just all things Chelsea in general. As the Blues took another step closer to a potential trip to Wembley with a last gasp 3-2 win against Leeds at Stamford Bridge to set up an FA Cup quarter-final tie, another home tie against Leicester City. So maybe you'd have to fancy us as favourites just to make it back to Wembley for those FA Cup semi-finals. The domestic cups seem to be being kind to us this season in terms of the draw and in terms of progressing to the latter stages. So there's another big opportunity there to potentially get back to Wembley. We've got the latest from John Obi Mikel, who's been speaking to Ben Jacobs about how he's acting as Victor Osimhen's agent and is desperate to get him to come to Chelsea. We've got Trevor Chalobah talking about his love for Chelsea and how he's going to fight no matter what. Mudryk excelling in a central position last night. Could that be the key to unlocking his potential? Got Poch on Chalobah. We've had the Napoli president speaking about Osimhen, confirming that he's got there's a very high release clause in the contract. Didn't confirm how much it was, and then we've also had some Opta have crunched the numbers and have given Chelsea a 23.6% probability of qualifying for Europe next season, which doesn't sound that great. So we've got all that to dive into, guys, and much more. As usual, people, make sure you're smashing the like button. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Let's run those likes up, get to 50 likes as quickly as possible, guys. But yeah, smash that like button. It's free. It takes seconds. Please subscribe. And big up to everyone that's already locked in the building. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, some Leeds guy fell from the upper tier of the away end into the lower tier, I think, near the shed. So there's some medical stuff going on there. Pochettino under pressure, not getting carried away with the results. Yeah, no, absolutely. Last night was a poor performance, particularly second half, and that can't be overlooked. And I'm gonna get into that. But most importantly about the cup is it's all about getting through, and we managed to get through. We're going to be up against Leicester at home next. Yes, big up. The difficult situations around Chelsea right now is far bigger than Pochettino. Yeah, no, I agree on that. That's what I've been saying for a long time. Chalobah, Mudryk, and Gallagher. I wouldn't say Gallagher was quality. The winning goal was taken very well. I don't feel like he had that much of an impact otherwise, but it was a big impact to have in the game. And we desperately needed it. Yeah, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Lewis is my guy, but yeah, I disagree with him on the fact that Pochettino's the main problem. He's absolutely not. They also said Potter was the main problem, and that's been proven to be also incorrect as well. And as I was saying the other day on the stream, like, I honestly firmly believe that if Graham Potter was still here, I'm not saying we would be doing better, but we would be absolutely doing no worse for me. What else is coming in? No, Caicedo was good last night. He was our best midfielder, 100%. What else have we got going on? How it's meant to be done, but they have owners and sporting directors that know what they're doing. What else is coming in? Yeah, no, we got played off the park in that second half. Absolutely played off the park. 3 games in a row. Poch has done that. Done what? I'm not sure what done what. Yeah, if we play like that in the second half against in the second half, we do that against Brentford, then yeah, it's going to be a long day, and we could absolutely be in problems. What else? Oh, guys, there's so much stuff coming. I'm not gonna be able to read all of this. But I'll get to as much of it as I can. Remember, guys, if you want to guarantee your comment gets read out, please do use the super chat function. Any donation is greatly appreciated. I sometimes wonder if people are A, watching the same game, or B, have just got completely different standards to me on what is a good performance. I thought Mudryk was good last night. I would disagree that he was poor. He was voted as the Chelsea man of the match. The official man of the match was given to Archie Gray, the Leeds midfielder. I do sometimes wonder if I'm watching a different game. But obviously everyone's is entitled to their own opinions and sees things differently. But maybe it's me. I don't know. Yep, absolutely we are. Absolutely we're conceding goals way too easily. I would agree on that. I don't know because the semi-final draw has not been done yet. Yes, afternoon. I think just got lucky. Yeah, no, we did get a bit lucky. Yeah, we absolutely did. There's no there's no escaping or denying the fact that, yeah, we 100% did get a bit lucky. Gone defensive. Right, yeah. Yes. Big up. Right, let's get into it, people. Let's dive into it. I mean, look, let's have a look at this, right? Because I'm going to get into last time, but let's bring up the draw, the quarterfinal draw. And as far as as far as we're concerned, it couldn't have really gone much better. We got the best draw possible, other than Coventry. If you wanted any team in the next round, it would have been Leicester or Coventry. So I think we have to be pleased with how that's gone. As I said, it's a home tie. It's another opportunity to get to Wembley. And like, you'd have to fancy our chances. Yes, Leicester are flying high at the top of the Championship. They've dropped off a little bit. Their priority would absolutely be to win that league and return to the Premiership, to the Premier League even, sorry. And yeah, we'd have to fancy our chances. Bro, this I don't like the draw for the semi-finals not been done yet. So after the quarterfinals, the draw for the semi-final will take place, and then we'll find out who's playing who. But it's not been done yet. So yeah, we've got Chelsea, Leicester. I think this gives us a very, very good chance. Leicester will be of a similar standard to Leeds, maybe a touch better, but again, it depends what position they're going to be in the league when these quarterfinal ties come around. Yeah, it is going to be fascinating to see kind of how we approach the game. And one match away from Wembley again, and some big sides are going to go out. Obviously, I think Wolves will make it through to the semi-finals. If I was a betting man, I think the last four would be Wolves, Liverpool, Chelsea, City. And that's quite a tasty last four. A really tasty last four, in fact. And when you start getting to that point, it's pretty hard to avoid any big teams. But look, once again, like in the Carabao Cup, obviously we messed up in the final, but the draw has opened up for us, and we have been very fortunate with the draw in both cups so far this season. And yeah, look, this represents somehow another opportunity for us to potentially make a domestic cup final. Now, there's another 2 games to go until we get there. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but this absolutely couldn't have gone better for us last night in terms of the draw. So I'm not getting ahead of myself at all, but I would say that I'm cautiously optimistic that we can make the semi-finals and we will be returning to Wembley once again this season. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, given our record there. I really don't enjoy going to Wembley. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see what happens on that front. But yeah, as far as the FA Cup goes, I mean, last night could have gone better in terms of performance and stuff, but obviously we're through. And the draws massively helped us out. And I still maintain that winning this competition, for me, still represents our best chance of making European football next season. I'm not saying we can't do it in the league. I think it will be more difficult. We are 3 matches from Europa League football in this FA Cup. 3 matches from Europa League football, whereas in the league, well, we do lack consistency. We are struggling. That's going to be a lot tougher. But this one, we are 3 matches away from potential Europa League football. I would agree that we would probably lose to either one of those sides, but at Wembley, maybe it levels the playing field slightly. And to be fair, we competed against Liverpool. I know it wasn't their strongest team, but we absolutely competed against Man City as well. So I don't know. It's going to be tough, but it has absolutely opened up for us. There's no denying that. Absolutely, no denying it on that front. And yeah, I say, look, I'm not happy with how things are, but the cups have, we've done well in them so far this season. We're going to lose to Liverpool and Man United. I kind of hope. Look, for me, I'd rather Man United win that game because I think we've got a better chance of beating them potentially than we would have beating Liverpool. But for some reason, our record against United is dreadful. So yeah, I don't know who I'd rather face out of those two. I wouldn't say not good enough, but he's certainly not good enough, in my opinion, to be the number one. That much is absolutely clear. Bro, I hear you on that, but I think unfortunately you're going to be disappointed. He got an assist for the Mudryk goal, but other than that, I thought he was poor. I really haven't have had enough of him. Yeah, we could get Liverpool. We obviously, like, both teams need to win. Either way, we get. Yeah, I would say so. We need to send Sterling to Saudi. Yeah, we need to get him somewhere. We need to get him somewhere. No, I'm not. Yes, big up to Michael, who's been a member for 2 months now. Appreciate your support, brother. Do Ferrari have any chances in Bahrain this weekend? Podium, yes, I think there's definitely a chance for the podium, but the win, I would say, unlikely unless there was some luck. Yeah, March 16th is the semi-final. The semi-finals are going to be, the quarterfinals are going to be over that weekend. So the Arsenal game is now going to be rearranged. That's likely to be played in May or in April or May. So we're going to have a trip to the Emirates towards the end of the season. City had no Rodri. They did have Rodri. He scored the equaliser, the 1-1. He scored the equaliser. Yes, evening. We've already made it to more finals than last season. Yeah, we have. So again, that's a positive, I suppose. It's a step in the right direction, absolutely. Yes, big up, brother. Happy with the win, but I don't want to see Sanchez in goal again. Yep, I agree on that. Let's dive into last night and let's talk about it because, yeah, there were changes in the lineup, more changes than I was expecting, but absolutely, changes needed to happen. We couldn't go with pretty much the same team with having played 120 minutes. Rodri scored in the 4-4 as well. He played in both games against us this season. Yeah, that obviously needed to be changes. There were changes. We saw Trevor Chalobah come in for his first start of the season. First time he's played 90 minutes since July in pre-season. He slotted in alongside Axel Disasi. We saw Chilwell rested. Gilchrist played at right back. At left back, and Gusto played right back. Mudryk and Mudryk both started. Mudryk was in a central role. And you know what? Obviously, and we had Sanchez in goal. I mean, let's start with Sanchez. I'll be honest, this was the first time since he got injured in December where I thought we looked nervy at the back. You know, we were fucking about with the passes. Players were being sold short. They were being played into danger. Yeah, it really wasn't. We looked really shaky and really nervy. And for me, there's no coincidence that coincided with Sanchez's return to the side. He doesn't fill me with confidence. I don't think the defense feel confident with him. He doesn't seem to pick the right pass. He doesn't seem to make the right decisions. His distribution has been poor. A number of balls were overhit. A number of passes were overhit, or he was playing teammates into a dangerous area. For the goals, I thought maybe he could have got a hand to the first one, the equaliser. You know, he just stood there, and like at least make an attempt to make a save, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? At least make an attempt, but there wasn't even an attempt. And yeah, obviously we went through, but you can just tell the difference between him and Petrovic. You know, Petrovic is so much calmer on the ball. You don't feel nervous in the stands when he's on it. And yeah, with Sanchez, that's what you get. And it's really, really important now that Pochettino sees this for what it is, and that Petrovic is the clear number one at this point in time. And if he doesn't go back into if Sanchez stays in the lineup for Saturday, then that in itself would represent a sackable offence in my opinion. Like, it's not even a hard decision. It's so obvious. Petrovic has been brilliant for us this season, since he came into the side. And he looks a cut above Sanchez, a lot calmer. He's more confident on the ball. He's not put a foot wrong. I didn't necessarily have a problem with Sanchez playing last night, you know, given the fact that you're not going to rotate keepers in the Premier League, and they don't get, you know, substitute minutes like an outfield player would. I like you could see why he played in this game, but it's really important now that he is not playing, that he's not playing in the Premier League. That is the most crucial. That's the most crucial thing, guys. Because yeah, he really wasn't. It wasn't a good performance from him. He wasn't at it at all. In my opinion, yeah, Petrovic is looking like a bargain at this moment in time. £14 million from the New England Revolution. We had to wait a while for him to get an opportunity, but he's grabbed it with both hands, and he looks a really good signing. He looks a really good goalkeeper. And given the extortionate amounts of money in the market these days, to pay £14 million or someone is not much at all. I absolutely agree. He's not. The only thing maybe he's done wrong was literally when he came on at Everton for the last sort of 5 or so minutes, where he flapped it across for the second goal, flapped it a corner. Other than that, he's been exceptional. Still concerned about the fact that Caicedo scored no goals. Caicedo is not here to score goals. That's not his role in the side, so I wouldn't be concerned about that. We haven't had a regular 11 for the past 2 seasons. Yeah, we do need stability. Agreed. Absolutely agree. Yes, big up, brother. What are we saying? Yeah, all good. Yep, absolutely echo those sentiments. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Yeah, I'm struggling to find a sensible explanation. I don't really think a sensible explanation for that one actually exists. It seems to be a strange deal, a strange piece of business. Look, for all we know, it could end up being good. I don't think so, but you never know in football. You never know. But on the basis of things so far, it certainly doesn't look great. Passing's not fast enough or confident enough. Too much thinking what to do when getting forward with the ball. Lots of stopping. Yeah, I agree. Yes, big up. Mudryk has to start on Saturday. I agree, but yeah, no, Sanchez for me was not good, and like it's no coincidence at all that we looked defensively shaky, and that coincided with his return to the side. I really don't think there's a coincidence there whatsoever. Yeah, let me move on to one of my favourite players, Mudryk, actually playing in a central role last night in that number 10 role, which I wasn't really expecting. I was interested to see how he was going to do, and it suited him a lot better, in my opinion. It suited him a lot better because he was involved more. Like, he got on the ball more. He was able to make things happen more as well. And, a couple of really nice passes. It's a great finish for the goal. Make no mistake about it. It's a great finish. I thought it was a really positive performance from Mudryk last night. He was obviously voted the Chelsea man of the match, not the official man of the match. And something to build on. He's like, I know a lot of footballers are confidence players, but if there was ever a footballer who summed up being a confidence player, it's Mykhailo Mudryk. Like, he played well last night. You could tell that the performance level dropped a little bit when Gallagher came on and he was shifted out to the wing. But yeah, in that central role, I think that could be where he excels. I really do believe that, and I would really like to see more of him in there. I would absolutely like to see more of him in there. And no one can, I'm sorry, but no one can convince me there's not a player in there. Too many people with a good eye for talent in football really, really rate this guy and believe he's got so much potential and so much ability. And Chelsea paid the money for him for a reason. And he just needs the opportunities. Poch saying after the game, that Mudryk has an amazing talent. You need to put your talent in the team. For that, you need time. And then he talked about, having to work hard with and without the ball, and yet picks Sterling pretty much every week, who doesn't work hard with the ball and certainly doesn't work hard without the ball either. So make that make sense, because it absolutely doesn't. Yeah, no, bro, I hear it. Watch Sterling start again on Saturday, and Mudryk find himself back on the bench. It's just ridiculous. The guy needs a run of games, and he showed in his performance, particularly the first half, that he deserves to start on Saturday absolutely ahead of Sterling. For me, I'd be going Palmer on the right. Gallagher would obviously be in that 10 role, and I'd play Mudryk on the left. That is the obvious three to go with. I don't know why you would possibly think it's a good idea to go with anything else. Yes, big up. No, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yeah, he looks good, and I think it's definitely something that we need to see more of. 100%, we need to see more of it. Yes, big up to the Dearest Devil for the super sticker. I appreciate you, my guy. I hope you're doing well. Jackson's still not a centre forward. He's more effective on the wings. Yeah, potentially. I think Jackson can definitely grow into the centre forward. Right? I actually thought Jackson was pretty good last night. It's a nice finish. 10th goal of the season in all comps. Not a bad return for his first season, and considering he missed best part of a month with the African Cup of Nations as well. Yeah, for me, anything that gets Mudryk more involved in the game and gets him on the ball more is going to be a good thing. At times, he's definitely isolated out on the wings. There's no denying that. No leaders, no style of play, no idea how to build up from the back. Yeah, I would agree with aspects of that for sure. Why is that not working? Oh, there we go. We need to sign a striker this summer. It's obvious. Yeah, for sure. Oh no, I'm back in the game. People, am I still here? Yep. Guys, let me know if the stream is all right. I've just had a little bit of a funny moment there. What else have we got going on? Now, for some reason, I can't hide the comments. But yeah, guys, what are we saying? Can you hear me all right? I know in the chat if you can hear me. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. So yeah, people, let me know if you can hear me. Just bang it in the chat if everything's going all right. Right. Sorry, people. I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game. Yep, all good. I don't know what happened there. Done a little Houdini, but we're back. We're back. We're back. Yeah. Apologies there, people. Not sure what was going on. Let me just get my let me just get back up on screen what we were chatting about with Mikhailo Mudryk. So yeah, Pochettino was saying he's got amazing talent, needs to put your talent in the team. For that, you need time. Yep, you need time, but you also need opportunities as well. And yeah, he doesn't appear, or certainly in my opinion, is not getting the opportunities that he deserves. And there is, to me, it's so clear that there's a player there. It couldn't be clearer that if Chelsea harness his ability in the right way, then you know there's no reason why this guy can't go on to become a really, really top player for us. But Chelsea have got to trust him. They've got to give him minutes, and they've got to develop him and give him an environment in which he can flourish in. And right now, I'm not sure we're doing that. Mudryk will shine. I hope so. I hope so. How many 10s do we need, though? Well, we don't actually have that many. Mudryk, I wouldn't say is a natural number 10. Neither would I say Cole Palmer. I suppose in terms of natural number 10s, I would say we really only have Nkunku, because Palmer, I think, is better on the right wing. And Mudryk is not really he's not really a natural 10 either. No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, he did really well considering he's not played much at all recently. Yeah, no, he absolutely did well. You know, he did the best. He did probably the best that he could. Yes, big up. People better understand Gallic. Yeah, no, absolutely agree on that. Mudryk good last night. Yes, talent. He absolutely does have talent. Isn't that good on the wing. He's better as a 10. But again, I think it's a bit of a myth that Mudryk doesn't track back and hasn't got defensive work rate. He absolutely does. Yes, huge talent, just needs to understand the game more. Yep, I think, look, absolutely agree on that front. Needs to understand the game more. What he needs is coaching. He needs coaching. It's as simple as that. These owners and directors have made too many failed signings. That's the main problem here. I wouldn't say failed signings. I think it's a bit early on some of them, but I would agree that evidence would suggest that a number of these signings will probably end up not being good enough to play for Chelsea. So, yeah. Big fan of Jackson. Solid number 2 striker. Can see him being a 20-goal-a-season striker in a couple of years. Maybe. I think Jackson can definitely score goals. He's got 10 this season already in all comps. But yeah, like obviously the big thing for him is his finishing. He needs to improve his finishing. But actually, in general, the rest of his play is pretty good, and he absolutely brings a lot. He brings a lot to this side. He brings a lot to this side. So, yeah, I think, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Nicholas Jackson. I think there's some good players here. There are some good players here. Yeah. No, I'm back, people. I'm back. There's so much stuff coming in. I'm scared Gallagher scoring more isn't going to up his price in the summer to be sold. Well, no. Well, look, I don't really know the answer to that because when you've got a year left on your contract, your value tends to go down. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think we just have to hope that the club sees sense. I mean, Poch wants Gallagher to stay. Gallagher's made it clear that he wants to stay. And we just have to hope that common sense prevails. I mean, I'm no data expert or anything, but I think it would probably be a pretty good idea to offer Gallagher a new contract. I mean, I'm not really sure why. Well, I know why they'd be not thinking about it because they want to sell him for pure profit. Because he's from the academy. Needs close coaching and minutes. Agreed. Maybe. I mean, I don't know the answer, but maybe. I agree on Mudryk. We need to keep him on the ball to raise his confidence. He doesn't get enough ball out wide. No, he doesn't. This is the thing. And like, I believe in this kid. I believe in this kid so much. Like, I've backed him from day one. I think he's a really exciting talent. There's so much ability there. He's unique in a footballer. Like, there's not many players that you actually want to watch. Or get excited about watching because you're not really sure what you're going to get. I think Mudryk is absolutely one of those where, like, you're excited to watch him because he's got the ability to make the unexpected happen, and you don't know what you're going to get from him, and that's kind of an excitement. It's also a frustration for sure, and hopefully, as he develops and he gets more minutes and he improves his game, then you will know what to expect from him. Yeah, he did. He played through the middle at Leicester last year. I was there. I don't know if that really worked that well, if I'm being brutally honest. But I mean, it's certainly another option there. But no one wants Potters to. Well, yeah, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, the goal was really nice. And look, for me, there absolutely is so much ability there. I massively believe in him. I think he's better than Sterling. I think he's better than Mudryk as well. I'd probably say if I'm being honest, he's definitely our most talented winger in terms of just pure talent. But in terms of obviously like end product and all that sort of things and being a reliable performer, he's not quite there yet. But he is like for me, he's definitely the most talented. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And Chelsea just can't afford to make, more mistakes with not developing players or giving up on players too quickly. And Mudryk now deserves a run aside. He should be starting against Brentford on Saturday. Make no mistake about it. Should be starting on Saturday. Yeah. Hope you're feeling better, bro. One question: we take Liverpool in the FA Cup final. Oh, it's almost take anyone in the FA Cup final, because if we make a final again, you can't be too choosy on it. You absolutely can't be too choosy. Bet Pochettino will bench Mudryk on Saturday and start Sterling. Yep, sadly he probably will. Yes, I think he will end up staying because he's playing so well, and because optically it will just look really bad on the owners. I think he will end up staying. And that for me would be the right decision. I'm not saying he should be an automatic starter every week, but he can start 3-4 games sort of on the spin or whatever. You know what you're going to get from him, and he can be a really valuable squad player. And I think he'd be happy to play that role. So, yeah, I would. I think he will end up staying, but there's no need for it to be this dragged out and for it to be taking this long. Do you think if Reece James was in Gallagher's position now, playing regularly, decent form, 1 year left of the contract, and got a 70 million offer from Madrid? Maybe. I mean, they might be tempted to accept it for sure, but I don't think Reece would be open to going. But again, that would depend how that would depend how he was feeling, of course. Ultimately, it's always down to the player. You can accept a bid, but if the player doesn't want to move, then he doesn't want to move, and there's no deal happening. But yeah, look, obviously, I think Mudryk was a positive last night. There wasn't that many positives last night. Positives from last night were Mudryk's performance in the number 10 role, the fact that we're in the quarterfinals, and the fact that Trevor Chalobah played 90 minutes and looked good. Other than that, everything else was what was a negative. It wasn't a great performance, and I just feel like in terms of Pochettino, obviously we needed that. It was a big win for him, but he didn't necessarily deserve it per se. But it was a big win, and yeah, it just for me the big concern is that we're seemingly not learning. We're not learning from our mistakes, and I thought Disasi wasn't great. Sanchez was poor. I just think collectively, like first half, obviously once we got the equaliser, having got a goal down, I actually thought we played okay in that first half, and we were in the ascendancy going into the break. What I can't understand is what's being said at half time. Like, what on earth is being said at half time? Because we come out second half and the intensity is not there, the urgency is not there. It's like we've forgotten how to play football. Leeds were all over us. They were playing us off the park in that second half. One team looked like they were really well coached, had a clear plan, a clear identity. Players knew their role. They knew exactly what to do. And that team wasn't us. It was Leeds. Daniel Farke was out on the touchline, barking instructions to his players. Pochettino, I know there's different ways of managing, but he spends most of the game just sat in a dugout, very rarely goes into the technical area and, sort of issues instructions and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on, as to why there's such big drop-offs in the second half, because that shouldn't be happening. The second half there's no getting away from it. The second half was a joke. It was an absolute disgrace. It really was. There's no getting away from it. Absolutely no escaping the fact that that we were awful. and just it's so lucky we pulled it off. And it's important to get into the quarterfinals and we got a favourable draw. Performance was shocking. Outplayed once again by a lower tier side, which is not positive, and it wasn't a positive game for Pochettino on a personal level. We were dominated by Leeds in that second half. They were dictating the play. It's embarrassing. That was embarrassing to happen. And it's the same problems of always. We come out second half complacent and lazy. And Poch is showing the same issues constantly, and nothing appears to be changing. And that for me is a major problem. I'm not saying there should be miracles after 6-7 months here, but after 6 or 7 months at the helm, you would expect to see a basic tactical plan and players knowing their roles and knowing what's expected of them. And we're just not seeing that. We simply aren't seeing that. And yeah, that for me is a bit of a concern. I'm going to say a bit of a concern. I think it's a major concern. And another thing as well is, I know we've got injuries and there's kind of a, there's a lack of what do you call it? Lack of options at times in terms of playing. Pochettino was saying after the game that Enzo and Moy are playing. We don't have players to sub and rest. The changes were because we needed to give some rest. Now, I hear that, but instead of complaining about it, and I know Liverpool are in a different position, and Klopp can obviously afford to do it perhaps more. But you look at Klopp. They beat us on Sunday, and he then started 5 academy players last night against Southampton. And he bought a further 3 from the bench, and as well, they had 4 on 4 from the bench at Wembley. It is a choice. You got players like Michael Golding who's played. Obviously, we did see Tory Ainen, I think his name is, from the bench, but there are options there. It's a choice. It absolutely is a choice. And the tweet here saying that obviously Jayden Dan scored last night. But before this week, so obviously including the Carabao Cup, Jayden had played 9 games in the Under-18 Premier League and 4 games in the PL2. He had 15 GNA in total. Leo Castledine, who's thought highly of at the academy, has 15 GNA in 14 games in the PL2. And McNeely has 18 GNA in both competitions, averaging a GNA every 50 minutes. There are choices there. And you could say that with the pressure on, can Pochettino really afford to make decisions like that and be brave? No, maybe he can't. But Liverpool did start 5 under-21s last night, and look, there is always a choice. There is always a choice. Yes, they're a better side than us, but they were playing a similar level of opposition. Southampton and Leeds were separated by a point or 2 in the Championship. There's very little standard between the teams, and Liverpool took that risk. Klopp was brave, and made brave managers take those risks. Ultimately, you can make excuses for it, whatever. But the best player on the pitch last night was a 17-year-old, and it was Archie Gray. He got a chance and he's run with it. So I do see it when you've got problems and injuries, and you've got a lot of games coming up, and you're constantly playing the same players, and they're bound to pick up injuries. Why can we not give the likes of a Michael Golding or a Leo Castledine an opportunity and a go in the first team? That's kind of what I'm saying. This is not about being pro academy or anything like that, or being a cobham sexual, as people like to say. But it's just about being brave. It's about taking risk, and it's about managing the squad. And ultimately, you've got those players there who would have been good enough. They would have been good enough to play last night, but they're just not given opportunities. And I understand that it's hard when you're in a position of pressure. That if you stuck in a few academy lads last night, the fans would have been like, "Well, what's going on with this team selection?" I absolutely get that to a degree, but there's always a choice. And instead of moaning, you could have played other players. You could have done that. What else have we got going on here? It's probably the 20th different defensive combo yesterday. First time seeing Sterling, Mudryk and Mudryk together. Yeah, look, there's been a lot of changes, injury, suspensions and whatnot this season. And yeah, absolutely, that does make things that makes things difficult to build any continuity when you can't really field the same or close to the same lineup on a weekly basis. That absolutely is a problem. There's no getting away from that. But yeah, there absolutely were concerns. There absolutely were concerns last night for sure. Yeah, there were, and they're things that have been there for a while, and they're things that don't really look like improving, or certainly haven't shown any signs of improving. What owners in their right mind sell your whole Champions League winning team apart from 2 players? Well, to be fair, a lot of those players needed to be like I think a lot of those players didn't want to be here anymore. I think it was quite obvious. A lot of those players, haven't really gone on and done anything of any note at their new clubs. I think we're in a unique situation with that squad where on that run, Tuchel worked miracles and managed to bring a level out of those players that is way beyond their ability. And those players haven't got anywhere near that level since, because it's not their accurate level. They were just managed to pull a level out that is clear of what they normally do. Team's very imbalanced. Poch risked a needed gusto for protection of Ben Chilwell and Colwell. Last time I checked, our youth team in the PL2 haven't been doing too well. But no, there's good players there. I mean, the 21 side is not bad. Guys, there's 70 people in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you're smashing that like button. 49 likes. Let's get this up to 60, 70 likes. Get it as close to 100 likes as we possibly can. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated, guys. So please do that. And hit the subscribe button as well if you are new round here. I would also greatly appreciate that as well. So please do those things, guys. It's free and it takes seconds. Chelsea have gone from competing against City and Liverpool on a regular basis to being in mid-table. Tuchel did well in the Cups. League, he was poor. Let's be real, we were competing with Man City in Cups, but we weren't competing in the league whatsoever. I think, look, I love Thomas Tuchel for what he did here, but people love to overstate how good he did. And then they also conveniently seem to ignore all his deficiencies and all the bad things about him. But it is what it is. It's been made difficult on the other side of the coin. $1 billion has been spent and we should have enough depth. No, I absolutely hear that. I absolutely hear that. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, he did just about, but I think the Premier League wasn't as competitive then. We had a far more experienced squad, a far better squad in terms of being able to compete in the league. But yeah, anyway, let's move away from last night. And let's actually sticking with it just for a moment. Let's talk about Trevor Chalobah, because it was really great to see him back. First start. He's had a couple of sub appearances, one at City and one in the Carabao Cup final. I thought he played well tonight. Pochettino was speaking about him after the game. So pleased with him. He was very good. One of the best players on the pitch. I'm so happy to recover him. He was full of confidence and he showed good character and personality. He's a player we can count on. I think with the squad being stretched, injuries, I think it depends what you mean by delivering. He scored 7 goals. Is he delivering at Arsenal? Is that what he was signed to do? Score a few goals? Arsenal aren't any better with him in their team compared to last season. They're not. I wouldn't say. I mean, if you've got low standards, then sure. But I wouldn't say that Kai Havertz is delivering at Arsenal. But yeah, no, I think I was really obviously Poch is pleased with him. I hope that Trev's going to get more opportunities, and I know he's more than likely going to be sold in the summer. But instead of going out and spending an absolute fortune on yet another centre back, why don't we just keep this guy? Why don't we just keep him? I mean, what an outrageous outside of the out of the box thought that is. Why don't we just keep Chalobah? If he's happy to stay in a squad role, I mean, I don't think he's not good enough to be a starting centre back on a regular basis as part of the first choice pairing, but he's more than good enough to be in the team and be a rotation option. And if he's happy with that, why don't we just why don't we just do it? Why don't we just do it? Why don't we just keep him? I know obviously it's financial reasons and whatnot, but it would just make more sense to keep him, wouldn't it? But we're clearly not going to be doing that. He plays the ball out from the back better than Disasi. Yeah, potentially he does. Yeah. Again, we need to see a bit more from Trev from this season. I do hope, as I said, he gets more opportunities. I would absolutely love to see him get more opportunities. Bumping his price up, yeah, potentially. I do wonder if that's kind of why. Look, the cynical part of me might wonder why Chalobah's now ahead of Gilchrist in the pecking order. Are we trying to increase his value because he's barely played for a summer sale? I'm not really sure. Would leave the stadium if you guys don't like the video or if Sanchez starts in goal. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going on Saturday yet, but yeah, guys, keep running the likes up, by the way. 55 likes. Let's get this as close to 100 likes as we can. We've got 78 in the building. Keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. And yeah, I would really appreciate it if you did that. And please also subscribe if you are new round here as well. We're on the way to 9,000 subscribers now. We need a few more. But yeah, if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit the subscribe button. It is going to be massively, massively appreciated. So yeah, make sure you're doing those things, guys. Like and subscribe, people. But yeah, no, Chalobah for me, I'm delighted with him. I'm a big fan of his. I think we should be keeping him. But yeah, it looks like it's heading one way. But he's also been speaking after the game, you know, saying how he loves the club and he wants to fight for his place. I love the club. I'll fight no matter what. If I play or I don't play, I'll give it my all, and that is all I can do. That is the attitude that we want from players. Trev, he gets what it means to be here. He gets Chelsea. He understands it. He's come through the academy. He's proven that he can play at this level. So yeah, we need to see. I'd like to see more of him this season. But yeah, I don't know how much more we'll see from him. I think he will get more opportunities. 100% he'll get more opportunities. But yeah, it's going to be... They're going to be limited, but I think they're going to be geared towards... There's going to be a ulterior motive behind them to obviously try and increase his value for the summer, where I think we all agree that he is more than likely going to be sold. But I think for me, Chelsea could save themselves, A, a lot of money, and B, you know, a big headache by trying to find another centre-back by just keeping Trev. That would be the thing that absolutely makes the most sense. No doubt about it. Second manager during the middle of the season does you more harm than good. Yeah, no, it does. That would set us back. There's no point now. Absolutely no point now. We just get to the end of the season and we reassess then. Simple as that. The academy products will be hit hard this summer because they've fucked up FFP. Yeah, potentially it will be. I don't think Poch has room for failure right now. Experimenting on the back line could be fatal. Well, I think we had to make changes. We had to make changes. I don't think he's experimenting as such, but we did need to make changes. Poch did the same with Breyer, compared him to Kane, and let him go on. I mean, I don't know how much that was his choice. We have to see. Premier League has dropped standards a little bit. However, so is European football outside Haaland and Mbappe. The rest are not at the same level. Maybe not. Yeah, bro, look, I don't particularly rate Amanda Broja. I think it's clear that he's not that good. But hopefully he might boost his value at Fulham a little bit, and maybe we get around the 30 million that we were looking for in January. But I just think it seems a little bit unlikely. Yeah, I honestly, I like the Sassy, but I would agree. I don't think there's an awful lot of difference between the two players. So yeah. Yeah, guys, keep running the likes up. What are we on likewise? Only 50, we're on 56. Come on, people. Let's get this to 60. We can definitely hit 70 likes easily by the end of this video. So let's make sure that we are getting that done. No excuses for it not to be happening, people. Yeah, I think he has. I don't think he's actually made that many appearances, but he's played once or twice. Yes, big up, brother, big up. We're going to get onto that in a sec. How can Disasi be man of the match last week and then last night he was awful? Yeah, he just held onto the ball for too long. Should have given it to Caicedo sooner, but he didn't. It just comes down to poor decision making. That's what it was at the end of the day. It was poor decision making. As simple as that, really. Brea doesn't start for Fulham. Rodrigo Muniz starts ahead of him. He doesn't at the moment. But yeah, I hope Chalobah stays. It was great to see him back in a Chelsea shirt last night, starting again. Looked good alongside the Sassy. I think there should be more. I hope there's going to be more opportunities for him. I think there should be, personally. And I won't change my view on this. I think we should be keeping him this summer because we'll save ourselves a lot of money and we'll save ourselves a lot of headaches trying to find what centre-back to bring in. It's as simple as that for me. Absolutely as simple as that. This just coming in from Sammy Mockbell in the Daily Mail, guys, in regards to Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher is determined to fight for his long-term future at Chelsea, with talks over a new contract at an impasse. There has been no significant progress on discussions over an extension. Yeah, I don't know why that's not. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why that's happening. It shouldn't be an issue to short that extension. Disasi does not have an alibi of inexperience. Couple of good games is not good enough. He's an experienced player though. He's captain Monaco. He's played in the Champions League. Well, no, but to be fair, they played 120 minutes. I think look, for me, Disasi and Colwell is the best partnership going forward for the rest of the season. And hopefully we'll see that again on Saturday against Brentford. Disasi at times reminds me of Zuma on the ball, but he is good at defending and he's good at clearing and heading the ball away. Yeah, potentially, yeah. But yeah, look, it's good with Trevor. I think we should be keeping him. As I said, delighted to see him back. And yeah, long may that continue for him. But let's move away from last night and let's move on to that man, Victor Osimhen. Because Ben Jacobs out in Qatar at the Web Summit has been speaking to John Obi Mikel. And let me just bring it up on the screen. And I'm going to play to you guys what Mikel has been saying on Victor Osimhen. So can you guys hear this?
So I've got 20% of that deal. Let's hope it works out.
Well, I have to ask you about that. Of course, the podcast naturally has a lot of Chelsea followers. Victor Osimhen to Chelsea. Genuine possibility or just media hype?
I think there's genuine interest between both. I think he loves the club. He wants to come to the club. Obviously, he wants to follow my footsteps as a Nigerian player who's played for Chelsea. I think Victor Moses as well, Celestin Babayar, not a lot of us. And he's looked at that. London as well, fantastic city. Instead of going to Liverpool or places like that, you want to live in London. But he also has a lot of interest, like Paris Saint-Germain, Man United. But I'm still pushing, sending him messages and trying to make sure that, he doesn't expect too much. Just narrow your mind in one club, the Blues.
So you are genuinely acting as Agent Mikel.
I am pushing him. But I hope he comes to the club because he will bring so much to the club. I think one thing we lack, anybody who watched the final on Sunday will see that one thing we are lacking is scoring goals. We need that striker who will score goals. And that's what Victor will give you. He's not the most skillful guy, but goals, definitely guaranteed. I mean, if he could get us 20 goals per season, 25, who knows? That's what Erling Haaland does. That's why he's one of the best. He's not really there for link-ups and all that. Get the ball in the box, and he will finish. And that's something that definitely Victor Osimhen will give us. So let's hope it works out, and he comes to Chelsea and become a legend.
Right, so we got. I'll tell you what, the pull it's amazing how much pull Chelsea have got in Africa and African players. Like you forget Drogba, Essien, Mikel, Kalou. to name a few. We've had a lot of really top African players in the past, and it's great to see Mikel kind of acting as an agent per se. You know, he's trying to push Osimhen. Osimhen's reportedly already made his decision. That's what he said. I'm sure Drogba's been onto him as well. It would be quite some coup if Chelsea were able to pull off a deal for Osimhen. I'm obviously not as convinced as the likes of Mikel are. By the way, top guy as well. Met Mikel before the game at Wembley on Sunday. What a guy he is. And yeah, look, it's interesting, isn't it? That like Mikel probably seems to be doing more on this deal than the sporting directors are at this point in time. But that probably shouldn't surprise us, because I don't think the likes of Winstanley and Stewart are particularly good at their jobs in the nicest way possible. But yeah, it's interesting, that, isn't it? It's interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Osimhen, because we've got the likes of Gyökeres, Osimhen, Ivan Toney to a degree, Benjamin Sesko. There's a lot of names that Chelsea have been linked with. There's a lot of possibilities for us in the summer in terms of a striker. I think it's clear that that Chelsea's main target will absolutely be Victor Osimhen, but you just never know. As Mikel said, we know there's interest from PSG. We know there's going to be interest from Man United, potential interest from obviously Arsenal as well. I don't know what Osimhen's release clause is. We've had Aurelio De Laurentiis, the Napoli Napoli president even, has been speaking on Osimhen as well. Some players stay for many years. Others are wanted by PSG, Arsenal, City, Chelsea. It's difficult to keep players when they are wanted by rich clubs. I can confirm there's a release clause, very high one. So yeah, look, United have got Højlund, but they need a main man. Like, Højlund is still only 20, a bit of a development striker at this point in time. They need a main man. They 100% need a main man. So yeah, I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in the pursuit of Osimhen. We're going to have competition, but he's reportedly already made his mind up. So maybe he does want to come to us. I mean, maybe I'd start to question why he'd want to come to us, but we've got London. Despite struggling, we seemingly have still got some degree of pull, and it's we've got African legends that have played for us, and none bigger than John Obi Mikel and obviously Didier Drogba as well. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, but it's not going to be 100 million. I think it's 120 million euros, which is about 112 million pounds. It's going to be a lot of money. Mikel for manager. Feel like Poch is too soft to manage Chelsea. Maybe, I don't know. Mixed results in the practice session today. Yeah, potentially. I think it's difficult to read into too much on that front. Gyökeres better than Osimhen? I don't know. I'll believe Osimhen. Yeah, agreed. No, I'm not. I don't think it's as simple as that. I really don't. I wouldn't say PSG are favourites at all. I think it's clear that Victor Osimhen wants to come to the Premier League. I'm not saying Chelsea are favourites, but I would be surprised if his next destination isn't the Premier League. He's already played in France for Lille. Yes, PSG is a big club. It's not bigger than Chelsea. It's not got the same history. We don't need Osimhen. Farah's no, because we're not going to get Kvaratskhelia. No chance, and we don't need him either. Would need another striker if we get him? No, I think again. I don't think Osimhen's always injured. Yeah, he's missed a few games. Obviously, this season with injury, he's got a hat trick. A hat trick last night for Napoli. He signed a new contract so that he could leave, because there's a release clause in it. Otherwise, it was going to be very difficult for him to go. So there's a set price for him to leave now. So Napoli get the price that they want for the player. Osimhen got an increase in wages. and it's win-win. Yeah, but that's business. That's football. That's how it works, unfortunately. Yeah, there are some limitations to his game. Every player's got limitation to their game. But look, as I've said, look, I like Osimhen. I don't believe he's as good as a lot of people make him out to be. But I am, I am still a fan of his. And look, I would rather have Ivan Toney, but I do still rate him. I do still rate him. And I wouldn't complain if he turned up. I just think Ivan Toney would suit us better. But it is what it is on that front. There's loads of stuff coming in, guys. Got to test himself in the Premier League. Yep. PSG couldn't win a Champions League with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. They aren't even bigger than Arsenal. No, they're not. I would rather spend that money on Toney. If I'm being brutally honest, me personally, I would rather. Rate Gorkarez more. Fair enough. I don't think so. I think we've proven that we can still land big names. We can still beat clubs in better positions to other players. We still have pull. Remember, this sort of younger generation of players, they grew up watching Chelsea win everything. That we still hold skin in the game in that front. Obviously, for older players, it might be a bit different. But for this next generation of player, this younger demographic, we still have pull, and we can still get players. We absolutely can. We absolutely can still get these players, people. There's no denying it. Absolutely no denying it. Yeah, Osimhen's 24, or he might have just turned 25 recently. He's 24 or 25, yeah. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens on that front. Obviously, as I said, we've got the African players on the case. We got loads of people on the case. So we are gonna wait and see what happens on that front. I mean, I don't want to get excited. I don't want to get carried away. But it is clear that we are working hard to try and get Osimhen. We've got obviously people trying to convince him to come and to convince him to join. But yeah, it's still gonna be difficult. It is absolutely still gonna be a difficult task. He's gonna have interest from multiple clubs, and we just have to hope that him liking us, the African connection we've got, and all that stuff is will hold us in good stead. But I'll be real, I'm not massively confident on that front, to be brutally honest, guys. Not hugely confident. People, 63 in the building still, only 63 likes. Let's get this up to 70 as quickly as possible, guys. There's definitely 7 of you in here that have not smashed that like button, so make sure you are doing that, guys. But yeah, the hunt for players for a striker is going to rumble on for sure. If we're going to do a deal for Osimhen, we need to get it wrapped up ASAP. You've got to act quick on these deals. There's no point having a situation where it goes up to the deadline day. Any centre forward that's coming in, or any player for that matter that's coming into the club, they need, if it's possible for it to be done, they need to be here for the start of pre-season. Any time after that is too late, and you're putting them on the back foot. You need the players to be here and have the full pre-season. Like that should be, that for me is a non-negotiable. A non-negotiable. They need to be here for the full pre-season. And that way we've got the best chance for them to hit the ground running. Simple as that. It's the best chance for them to hit the ground running. And that is exactly what we need them to do. Exactly what we need them to do. We need them to hit the ground running. So yeah, we simply must have have him in for pre-season. Simple as that. Whatever striker it's going to be. Name me players that we could have signed this summer to help us compete with Liverpool and City. I don't think we could have done. I don't think we could have done. But yeah, that's kind of, guys, that's the latest on Victor Osimhen. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Hopefully, it's going to be decided sooner rather than later what he's looking to do. But let's move away from Osimhen, and let's talk about Chelsea's probability of finishing in the European spaces. We've Opta, the stats guys, have been crunching numbers. I don't know how they do it, but according to Opta, Chelsea's probability of European qualification is 23.6%. That is really, really low. Really low. Yeah, I mean, I've not fact checked that, but that certainly wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. There's absolutely no denying that. Yeah, maybe look, the number 9 shirt. I don't believe in these sort of curse things, but yeah, it's yeah, you can see why people say it. Well, let's dive into this, right? So Opta are giving us a 23.6% chance of qualifying for Europe. It's pretty low, but let's bring the Premier League table up. Let's see what fixtures we've got remaining as well. And I know a lot can change, but let's have a look at it. So right now, 7th is going to get Europe. We are 4 points off 7th, but we've got a game in hand. So potentially 1 point off 7th. Let's then look at our matches that we've got left and kind of see where we're at. So we've got Brentford away, Newcastle home. Obviously, that's Arsenal's postponed. We've got Burnley, Man United, Sheffield United, Everton, Brighton away, Villa away, West Ham home, Forest away, Bournemouth home. I mean, we've still got Spurs to play as well. So we've got Tottenham, Newcastle, Arsenal, Man United, Brighton, Villa. We've still got some tough games. I mean, I'd like to say that we would qualify for Europe through the league. I believe we're capable. But yeah, the fixtures are tough. Obviously, you have a little look at them and you think, yeah, but it's going to come down to more than that. It's not just going to be based on those 3 games. You know, we're going to need to win a large amount of the games that we've got left. That's the simple reality. That's the simple reality of the situation. There's no denying it. Absolutely, no denying it. I mean, look, let's go through these fixtures. I mean, this is why I was saying that, you know, I think the FA Cup does represent our best chance of European football next season. We need to win 3 games to get into the Europa League next year. Whereas with the fixture we've got left in the Premier League, our inconsistencies, you're just not sure. You're just not sure what you're going to get. You just don't know. That's the reality of the situation. You just really don't know what you're getting. So, the FA Cup for sure is going to be our best opportunity. I really believe that. It absolutely is going to be our best chance, people. And we're 2 likes away from 70, guys. Keep smashing the like button. Guys, let's get it up to 80 likes if we can. That would be massively appreciated. So please do that. And subscribe if you're new around here as well, guys. No excuse not to be subscribed to the channel. on the road to 9,000 now. Every new subscriber helps. So we want to get there as quickly as possible. So make sure you are hitting that subscribe button also, people. But yeah, getting the likes up is really, really important, guys. Really important. So do that. Exactly. What else we got going on? If you beat them, you're ahead of them. Now it's up to us whether we make it or not. But let's have a look. So we've got who have we got? So we've got Brentford away Saturday, and that's going to be difficult. Newcastle home. You don't really know what you're going to get with Newcastle. Obviously, the Arsenal game is going to be really tough. Burnley at home, you'd fancy us in that. United, difficult game because our record against them in the league is terrible. Sheffield United away, you'd expect that to be a straightforward win, but with Chelsea, you don't know. Everton at home should be straightforward. Brighton away and Villa away will be really tough. West Ham at home could be difficult. Forest away, I think will be tough. And then you've got Bournemouth at home, which you'd expect us to win. I mean, look, we can absolutely qualify for Europe, but I agree with the fixtures that we've got left. There's some tough games in there. Yes, we might improve as a side, but I don't know how much we're going to improve. And are we going to improve enough to pick up enough points to get us that European qualification? That for me is the biggest thing right now. Have we 8 wins from 13? I mean, we've still got Tottenham to play as well. Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle to play, and we've got Villa and Brighton still to play also. I'd say 8 wins from 8 wins from 13 is pretty good. I can't lie. I'd snap your hand off for that right now if we were going to get 8 wins from 13. That is that's quite something. If we could get 8 wins from 13, I'd be absolutely delighted with that. I'd like to share your optimism, but I'm not sure. We're so inconsistent; it's not going to happen, sadly. Or you just don't know. We could like go on a mad run, or we could legitimately finish bottom of the table. Like not bottom of the table. Or we could just finish bottom half. That's the level of inconsistency that we're dealing with at the moment. We could get more injuries. We could. There is a chance, and I believe that is why Poch hasn't been fired. Well, yeah, and also I don't think you're going to get anyone in at this point in time to come and take the job on. Sell Sterling and convert Jackson into a left wing. Possibly, I'd be sell Sterling regardless. No, we haven't been consistent for years. We absolutely haven't. But yeah, there are some difficult fixtures left. There's no escaping that. Absolutely no escaping the fact that there are some tricky fixtures remaining. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to know. It's gonna I would really like to. Well, we're gonna find out, but you would think the FA Cup is going to be easier. Let's forget about Europe. These players are too inconsistent. We can't trust Poch to win us the FA Cup. All this would be better if he was improving the players. Yeah. Well, surely Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Burnley, Everton, Brentford, West Ham. Well, you'd think Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Burnley, Everton, West Ham. That's 5. Brentford away. I know Brentford are on a shocking run. That's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. Brentford away. I'll be real. That is going to be a tough one. There's no denying that. That will be difficult. But yeah, no, maybe we can get 6, possibly. I don't know. Yeah, no, Chalobah can play as a defensive midfield player. He's not played there an awful lot recently. But no, he absolutely can. Besides striker, what do you think is our biggest need? Well, if Cucurella leaves, which I think they'll probably look to sell him, I think we need a left back. We need a left back, a centre back, and a striker. That for me, those for me are the positions we need, and then we go from there. And then we absolutely go from there. Simple as that. What else is coming in? I'll be over the moon if we make Europa League. Yeah, I would be as well. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier in the show. There absolutely is a player there. There's no doubt about it. We just got to keep on him, keep developing him. That for me is absolutely the most important thing. No, at the moment we are struggling to do that. There's no denying that. But yeah, Brentford in shocking performance. Yeah. And you can guarantee that that Ivan Toney will score on Saturday. You can guarantee, absolutely guarantee. I mean, we have beaten Villa, but they're going to be tough games. Yeah, I would expect Arsenal to beat us. This United team is shocking. If we lose to them, I mean, seriously, they do a double on us. That is outrageous. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, for the movement, for the culture, it's absolutely vital that Man United are beaten and that we beat Spurs as well. Absolutely vital. I think the club have probably already started planning for next season. But yeah, if we go out the FA Cup, then yeah, the season's done, isn't it? The season is absolutely done if we do depart the FA Cup. There's no escaping that. Absolutely no escaping that. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one, isn't it? Gonna be an interesting one. We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. So yeah, I don't know. It is gonna be interesting, isn't it? It is absolutely gonna be interesting to see what happens on that front. It will be very interesting. It'll be very, very interesting. I only see a guaranteed 3 wins with 2 maybes. That's it. Yeah, we need more. We need more. Yeah, I've said it will be hard. I don't know if that's referring to someone else in the chat. I think Brentford's going to be a tricky game this weekend. A really tricky game. I think Ivan Toney's going to be almost guaranteed to score in that game. Maybe it'll be a good thing if he does. Maybe it'll convince us that actually he's the guy that we need to go for. Maybe that would be, as long as we win, I don't mind if he scores. Maybe that convinces that he's the guy to go for. Plan for next season or 3. Yeah. Poch should give more chances to Mudryk than Sterling. Agreed on that front. I've got... I'm not really basing this on anything, but I've got a funny feeling that we may well make the FA Cup final. I've just got a little bit of a suspicion. A little bit of a suspicion that we might do that. Chelsea-Liverpool semi-FA second round. I mean, I think I prefer Liverpool in the semi-final maybe than the final. But yeah, we can't be picky. We can't be picky. It is what it is at that stage. I hope not, mate. I hope not. Yeah, could you imagine? I mean, I don't know if I could take that again. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, it would be a little bit of a madness, wouldn't it? It would be a little bit of a madness. There's no denying that. It would be a madness for sure. Can't take another loss at Wembley in an FA Cup final. No, agreed. Yeah, I think it's a good thing in a strange way because it means that he's going to get a rest, which I don't think Poch would have otherwise given him. So yeah, I think that is a good thing. Potentially last game of the season is what it will come down to. Just compare our games against Wolves. They are the main rivals for me. Get above them and their fixture list is also a lot easier. Could come down to the last game for sure. To be honest, man, I don't think I would have done. I'll be real. I'm not sure I would have tucked those chances away. Guys, we're on 74 likes. There's 74 in the building. I'm going to go for another 5 minutes or so. Make sure that you run the likes up. Let's get this to 80 likes, people. Get it to 80 likes. Keep smashing the like button. Keep subscribing if you're new around here as well. That would be greatly appreciated. Somehow we'll manage to qualify. Yeah, maybe we will. What's the point in getting to a final and put in sticker? What do you mean put in sticker? I don't get that. Can we spoil the Arsenal title party? Hopefully. No, we don't, and that definitely doesn't help. But we've also not had, the opportunity to field our best 11 because of the injuries we've had. So yeah, let's wait and see on that front. But yeah, look, I think it's going to be tough to qualify for Europe. I think those 20, just shy of 24% odds of us doing it are probably an accurate representation because yeah, we've got some difficult games. We're very inconsistent. And you just, you got no idea what you're going to get for us. Yeah, see what else is going on, guys. What else is going on? Let's have a little look. Just a little bit more on the Conor Gallagher thing. Apparently, the unofficial wage ceiling is 150k at Chelsea, reportedly. And again, Gallagher has never said, at least has never said that he wants more than 150 grand at Chelsea. So I'm not really sure where that 150k thing has come from. All right, yeah, fair. Do you want to miss out on another season with Europe? No, absolutely would want Europa League football next season, 100%. We need games. If this squad's going to develop, we need games. Simple as that. This squad needs games. There's no escaping from that fact. It absolutely does need games. So yeah, I'm not turning my nose up at any European football. Even if it ends up being Conference League, I don't care. We need European football. We need it. Simple as that. No, I appreciate the support, brother. I appreciate the support. It means a lot. I think I'd rather City win the league again because no one's really that bothered about it. I definitely don't want Arsenal winning it. But I would rather Liverpool than Arsenal win the league. Absolutely, I would rather that. I just think with Arsenal, it would just be absolutely insufferable. It wouldn't be. It would just be the worst thing ever. Lukaku agreed lower wages already when he got the Roma loan. He hasn't signed a new contract. There's just an agreement that he can leave for a release clause. He didn't sign a new contract. But yeah, I think we're going to begin, guys, to round this one out. Let me just see if there's anything further in regards to any news. I'm not sure if there is. I mean, Eric Dyer is going to Bayern Munich on a permanent deal now. How that's happened, I've got absolutely no idea whatsoever. Guys, we still need 3 more likes to hit 80. Come on, guys. Let's get there before I round this one out. Yeah, that would be... I don't know what would be worse. Them winning the Premier League or them winning the Champions League. I've got no idea. Both would be horrendous. If the board doesn't see him as a starter, no way to give him well, look, he's not asking for 150k. I don't know where these stories come from. Arsenal will bottle it again as usual. I agree. I would not pay Gallagher more than that, but they have to sign him. He has earned it, and it's always good having homegrown players in the squad. Absolutely, I fully agree on that front. Fully agree. So yeah, I don't know where those reports come from that Gallagher is demanding X. We've had that narrative before with Mount supposedly demanding X amount of money. Gallagher's doesn't strike me as the greedy type. So yeah, that is a I don't know. It's an odd one, isn't it? Absolutely is an odd one. I don't. I'm not sure, guys. I'm really not sure. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I really don't know what to say about that. But yeah, look, let's hope that all gets sorted out. It needs to be sorted out. You know, we need to learn from our mistakes and not make, you know, stupid errors. Because it was an initial loan until the end of the season, and he's now activated the option to make that move permanent. So Tuchel has left Bayern lumbered with Eric Dyer. So that's another thing that they can thank him for in what has been a really dreadful spell in charge of Bayern for Tuchel. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's tuned in this evening. It's been greatly appreciated as always. Thanks for your support. Please smash the like button on the way out. Please subscribe if you're new around here. It would be greatly appreciated. It really does mean a lot, and it massively helps me out. The streams aren't the same without you guys. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Big yourselves up. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back tomorrow with a preview for the Brentford game, so make sure you stay tuned in for that one. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Smash the like, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow. Up the Chelsea, and peace out, people.